It was 1515, and Leonardo da Vinci was tired. At 63, his beard was a waterfall of snow, and the world had grown weary of his genius. He was no longer the celebrated master of Florence or Milan. Now, he lived in France, a guest of the young and ambitious King Francis I, but the king didn't want another painting. He didn't want an engineering marvel like a canal system. No, his demand was something far more impossible. "Make me a miracle, maestro," the king had said. "A celebration for the peace treaty, something that moves without a soul, something that lives but does not breathe." Leonardo accepted, but a heavy sense of dread settled in his chest. His right hand, the very hand that had captured the enigmatic smile of the Mona Lisa, was beginning to stiffen, betraying him with an early palsy. The days of bending horseshoes with his bare hands were long gone. He was an old man, and the world was waiting for him to fail. He retreated to his workshop in the manner of Close-Loose and began to draw. The plan was for a mechanical lion, an automaton that could walk 10 paces, stop, and then rear up on its hind legs in a show of power. For weeks, the workshop was a symphony of failure. Springs snapped with sharp, angry reports. Wooden gears ground against each other until they smoked and splintered. The physics were a nightmare. Every time the wooden beast attempted to lift a paw, its weight shifted, and it would tumble sideways. The courtiers were already sharpening their words, whispering that the old Italian wizard had finally lost his magic, that he was nothing more than a senile man playing with expensive toys. 2 days before the grand banquet, disaster struck. Leonardo tested the latest prototype. The lion took 2 shaky, unnatural steps, shuddered violently, and then collapsed. Its beautifully carved head shattered against the cold stone floor. Francesco, his loyal apprentice, stared at the wreckage. "It's too heavy, master," he said softly. "The physics do not hold." Leonardo sank onto a stool, the weight of the world on his shoulders, burying his face in his trembling hands. That night, sleep offered no escape. He sat by the fire, watching his cat as it stretched languidly. He observed the way its skin moved loosely over its muscles, how its spine wasn't a rigid rod, but a fluid chain of small, flexible links. And in that simple, natural movement, he found his answer. "Rigidity is the enemy," Leonardo whispered to the crackling flames. He had been building a machine of stiff iron and hard oak, but life, true life, was about tension and release. He grabbed a piece of charcoal and woke Francesco with a new fire in his eyes. "Strip the gears," he commanded. "We use rope, we use leather. We will build tendons, not levers." The night became a frantic race against time, a blur of cutting, winding, and weaving. The great hall of the royal chateau was a spectacle of opulence. The air was thick with the smells of roasted boar and heavy perfume. King Francis sat on his throne, flanked by the Pope's emissaries, their faces masks of bored skepticism. Then, the great door swung open and the hall fell silent. From the shadows, a golden lion emerged. It was life-sized, its wooden frame hidden beneath a coat of tawny fur. It moved. Not with the jerky motion of a machine, but with the silent, predatory grace of a real hunter. It prowled. You could almost see the leather tendons flexing beneath the fur. The only sound was the soft, rhythmic whir and click of the clockwork heart beating deep inside the beast. The crowd gasped, a wave of fear and wonder washing over them. It looked too real. At 10 paces, directly in front of the king, the lion stopped. An internal gyroscope spun, and the magnificent creature sat back on its haunches, raising its front claws. The king flinched. His guards reached for their swords. But Leonardo, standing quietly in a corner, gave a subtle signal. A final spring released. The lion didn't attack. Instead, a hidden panel in its chest slid open, and from the mechanical heart of the beast, a cascade of white lilac, the symbol of the French monarchy, spilled out, tumbling gracefully onto the king's feet. The king stood, his eyes wide with disbelief. He picked up a single lily. Looking from the impossible machine to the old man in the corner, the hall didn't applaud. It erupted, a roar of pure, unadulterated wonder. Leonardo didn't bow. He simply rubbed his aching hand, a small tired smile playing on his lips. He had proven that even as his body began to fail, his mind could still breathe life into dead wood. He was and always would be the maestro. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from history.